you're going to need your favorite epoxy to bond the pillar to the wood stock. I chose Acroglass. The next thing you're going to need is a set of drill bits, and we'll get into that in a moment. The next thing you're going to need is the actual pillar, the aluminum or steel, whatever you choose to use. I'm using aluminum. You're going to need a set of calipers, and you're also going to need a drill bit chart. And what the drill bit chart is going to do is it's going to, once you take measurements, and you'll see as you follow along, it's going to show you what drill bits that you need. First thing we want to do is take the gun apart. That's the first thing you want to do. Let's take the gun apart to get some measurements. That was easy. Okay, so let's start the camera. Camera, kind of organize things here. Put this down here. All right. Get my other camera. Let's move the wood stock for right now. Let's go ahead and start with taking measurements. First thing you need to do is take a measurement. And I'm going to show you, we're going to take a measurement on the action and we're going to take a measurement on the actual stock. We have to take these measurements for the pillar. We need to install the pillar. That's the main objective, is to get this pillar cut down to size, shaped, ground, drilled, everything you have to do to it to get it inside the stock and to get it around the action here. And I'm going to show you in a second. First thing we're going to do is grab a set of calipers. Okay, get your trusty set of calipers. And we're going to measure the diameter of the mounting post for the action. This is the part of the action that goes inside of the stock, and you bolt the stock to the action. We're going to take a measurement on this to see what it measures. We'll get a couple measurements here. Okay, so right now I'm roughly about 0.277. Next, we're going to measure the inside hole of the aluminum pillar. This hole has to go in through here. This is going to be bonded into the stock, and the action is going to slip into this. So let's go ahead and take a measurement here. I'm going to set the camera down. Okay, let's go ahead and take that measurement. So right now we have roughly about 0.2580 inches. So 0.258. Okay, so now let's go ahead and measure here. So we basically have 0.2740. Okay? So remember that number. Drill bit chart. So we said 0.275. So if you look at the drill bit chart here, here it is in diameter in inches. Okay, we're 0.275. We have to flip a few pages. We're into the zeros right now. So let's go ahead. Here's the ones, 0.1, 0.257. So here we are now. We are at 0.275. So we'll say we need a 7mm, because the next one up, which is the letter I, is 0.272. That's too small. So we need at least 0.2756, so a 7mm. Okay, so this is why you need the drill bit chart. So we got that one number, 7mm. Let's move on to the next measurement. So the next measurement is right here. We need to measure this hole. 0.413. Okay? So the pillar measures, the outside diameter of the pillar measures, I hope you guys aren't being confused, 0.425. So the outside diameter of the pillar, aluminum pillar block, measures 0.425. So we need to look at the chart. We know that the hole at 0.415 is smaller than the aluminum pillar at 0.425. So we only have to drill out a little bit. So let's look at what we need. Let's go back to the chart. Okay guys, we're going to go back to the chart and we need at least 0.425. We need to drill the hole in the wood stock at 0.425. So let me find the page. Here we are. So it's going to be a little tight fitting. So we're going to need a 27/64. So it's 27/64 drill bit. And that'll give us a hole of 0.4219. And we need 0.425. So we can make the hole work. That won't be a problem. Because 11mm, which is the next size up, is 0.4331, which is a little big. I want the pillar block to be solid in there. So let's go ahead and go with the 0.4219, which is 27/64. Which is here, you take your measurement on the mounting post, and then you take all your measurements on the actual pillar. You have the outside diameter pillar to stick in the wood, and then you have the inside diameter for the mounting post to go inside of here. So you have to drill this out, and you have to drill the hole in the wood. You have to drill it out to the outside diameter of the pillar. So you have to get the pillar in here, and you have to get the mounting post inside of there. Alright, so that's the next step. Now that we've taken measurements, we know what two drill bits that we need, a 7mm and 27/64. We're going to go ahead and set the drill bit up and start drilling the holes. Alright, so let's go ahead and drill this. Put a little lube on it here, let it drip down the pillar. This is the 7mm drill bit. Alright, there you go. Okay guys, let's go ahead and remove the pillar. Pretty sure it's a little, nope, not warm at all. Alright, remove this. Let's go ahead and take some measurements. Whew. Alright guys, it's getting pretty hot out here. It's getting pretty late. So we're probably going to call it quits for the night. This will be a couple of day process. Anyway, two things that I forgot to mention to you guys you'll need also. And I'll probably forget some things, but as I go along, I'll tell you everything that you're going to need. So I have some 180 grit and some 400 grit. And the reason being is because the metric size isn't exact to the size of this. It's as close as you can get. And this post is not concentric. It's Chinese, so it's cheap. So what I did was rough sanded it with the 180 and then polished it with the 400, because you only are taking off just, you know, a thousandths here or there all the way around. And now look at that, fits right on, no pressure, and there's no play in it whatsoever. And that's what I wanted. I want when it slides in, it slides into the pillar as it's going in, and I don't want any play. I want the trigger mechanism, the air tube, and the pillar to lock the gun into the stock. Alright guys, now that we have the aluminum pillar drilled through with the 7mm drill bit, The bedding post is already sanded, so the fitment of the pillar and the bedding post is butter smooth. Let's go ahead and move to the next step. We're going to drill out the mounting hole in the stock, and that's going to be 27/64. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Okay guys, let's go ahead and get started drilling the stock. If one is straight and one is angled 10 degrees or 5 degrees, you'll never get the action inside of the stock. So everything has to be up and down vertical. Everything has to be perfect. So let's go ahead and start drilling. All right, there you go. There's a hole drilled all the way through. Okay, so the next step that we're going to do is we have to trim this down. So we have to trim it down to where it's 10 thousandths over inside where it's inletted here. It's 10 thousandths higher than that. So we're going to take calipers and we're going to measure from the bottom here where it sits flush to where it comes out here and then add 10 thousandths more. Okay guys, we're nearing the end of the whole process. Follow the directions. I'm not going to take you guys through a step-by-step of how to do it. It's boring. It takes a long time. I just want to get this thing done and get it together. So stay tuned for the end result and the accuracy. All right?